Hey beautiful people, Ryan Hamer here. Today in this video, hope you guys are doing well. Today in this video, we are going to be talking about how you use your credit cards, and are you a transactor or a revolver? And what does that mean? So there are people that use their credit cards every single month, and how you use your credit cards determines which category you fall into. Your credit card company classifies you as a transactor if you pay off your balance in full each month at the statement date, before the statement date rather, and then when the statement is printed, you go ahead and use your credit card throughout the whole month. Right up, half of it, all of it, whatever. You use it, and then you pay down the balance completely before the statement date. Now, you are a revolver if you use your credit card and don't pay it off in full each month. You carry a balance, a high balance, a low balance, a middle balance. The fact of the matter is you carry a balance. Your credit card company looks at you and says, oh, okay, you fall into this particular category, or you fall into this particular category. And the reason why it is significant and important to them, it's because it determines what kind of advertisements they send you, what kind of promotions they send you, based on your credit card usage, not just whether you fill it up, whether you pay it on time, or whether you use your credit card religiously, regularly, vigorously, and if you pay it off in full, or if you carry a higher than normal balance. If you are over the limit, that comes into a factor. That comes into play as well. That's a factor. And when you're over the limit, you may or may not know this, but they charge you an over limit fee, $30. If you run your credit card close to the cusp and you leave it just under the limit, an over limit fee will come, because what happens is they throw interest on that. And if you have a higher than normal balance, a higher balance, right, that interest could very well put you over the limit. Then, once you're put over the limit, a transaction fee of over the limit fee is put on top of that. So you're even owing more money. So that's why we always say, make sure you make the minimum payment at the very least, and then also make more than the minimum payment if possible, if you cannot pay off the balance all at once. Because look, some of you guys have credit cards of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, or even $20,000. I mean, I'm not expecting you to run those credit cards up throughout the whole month, unless you're doing something in which you're getting a lot of money back. Like maybe you're doing affiliate marketing or something, you're doing something online in which you would definitely get a return on your investment like that. So that's fine. Now, then you can easily pay down your credit card. However, if you are using the card for work and stuff like that, and you have money coming in, sure, fine. But if you're not, then you really have to watch your spending if you are a revolver, because chances are that's not your only credit card. Chances are you have multiple credit cards, and then you're kiting and you're juggling and you're begging from Peter to pay Paul, and you're moving from one card over to another card and owing higher interest than you normally would, because you're taking cash off one card to put down cash on another card. You see? So it's a never-ending cycle, and you end up falling into the pit, the credit card pit. So what you're doing is you're kiting, trying to keep one kite up in the air, using another kite, and so on and so on and so on. If you are a transactor, you have money coming into you from whatever sources, and you use your credit card, and you're able to pay it off in all at once in one foul swoop. Now, assuming that your credit card limit is lower, or maybe it's a $500 credit card or a $1,000 credit card, and that's definitely plausible and doable, where you can pay that off in advance throughout the month. That's fine. That's great. Credit card companies don't make money off of people like you. So there is a thing called anchoring, that sometimes what they do is they will offer you a credit card with a lower limit, or they will offer you a credit card with a lower interest rate. Do you know when boats come into the harbor or what have you, they drop the anchor, and they stay in the same area, the anchor hits the bottom and the boat is moving here and moving there and moving there, moving forward, moving backwards, and it's steady. So what happens is they anchor you into a comfort zone. So I'm going to apply that over to credit. The credit card companies offer you a lower interest rate for a balance transfer. They offer you a lower interest rate for 12 months, and it's a feeding thing, right? So they see how you spend. They see how you use the card, and then you get comfortable with that card, and they anchor you into that comfort. And then what they do is they increase your limit. They provide you with the opportunity to increase your limit. Even though you're fine at 1,000, they might increase your limit to say 3,000 because you've been a good steward of your credit. You've been a good shepherd of your flock of credit cards. And so they want you to increase your usage. They want you to increase how you use the credit card. So what do? They up your limit, or they provide you with the opportunity to up your limit. So you up your limit. Now you're at 5,000, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now it is your ability to recognize these changes and adapt to these changes and use your credit cautiously, responsibly. Now, credit transactors are great because you guys will pay off your balance all at once or over the course of a month before the statement date gets printed. Now, when the statement date gets printed, that's a timestamp, black and white, that's sent off to the credit bureaus so they see that you have low or no utilization on your credit card. Typically no utilization because you are not using the card, or to them, it looks like you're not using the card. So here's how it works. I always explain this to people that it's like when you're a credit card user, it's like you're a dog serving two masters. You have to satisfy the credit bureau with regards to having a lower utilization rate of beneath 30 to 20% or 0%, which is great. It looks like you can have a lot of credit but don't use it. Great. So that boosts your score up and keeps it high. And also to the credit card company, you want to show them that you can use it and pay it off. Or you can carry a balance and keep it low, and they don't have to worry about it. But they don't like when people are transactors because you guys end up paying off the credit card and they're not making any interest. They don't like people who are good with their money because they don't make money off of that. They love revolvers because revolvers will use their credit card, carry a balance, and still carry a balance, get an increase and still carry a balance, and get an increase and still carry a balance. You're able to get those credit increases if you maintain your balance at a lower level, as well as if you pay off your credit card, if you make at least the minimum payments on time regularly throughout a 12-month period. They have their little bots that go through each account and check to see, okay, who's a good person to give a promo to, or to give an upgrade to, or a raise to, or what have you. They love to see when your credit score is high, when your account is in good standing over X amount of time. So that's why you never want to be late or miss a credit card payment at all. You never, ever, ever want to do that. Because once you miss a credit card payment, that's it. It's not over for you. You can recover and rebound, but they're reporting that stuff to the credit bureau report, and your score will tank for that. It will definitely go down oodles and oodles of points until you can get your card back in good standing. But the whole purpose of this video is to get you to understand the difference between a transactor and a revolver. And what happens is when when the credit card company offers you all these great promos where 6 months interest free, or you get 12 months 0% on a balance transfer if you get this card, or if you upgrade to that card, or they got credit card perks and stuff like that, where you get all these points for certain purchases and stuff like that, cashback rewards and whatnot. The reason why this stuff is important is because you as a credit card user, you get these perks based on the card that you have. Invariably, the interest rate will be higher if you get more perks. If you get less perks, then the interest rate will be lower because they're not really losing anything and they're not utilizing the higher interest rate to make their money back. As well as what happens is if it's somebody's paying, if it's not you that's paying, it's the merchant. So the merchant will have a fee. They got a processing fee. So where you go buy stuff, if you're at a restaurant or if you're at a store, you notice that some stores don't accept certain credit cards because they don't want to pay the merchant fees, right? You're collecting points, you're collecting all this stuff, and you're buying stuff from them. They got to pay a fee to the credit card company, and they're not happy about that. So you notice a lot of stores now are saying, we don't accept credit cards, we'll only accept cash or debit. So keep that in mind. Then you're going to have some stores that will say you have to purchase a certain amount for them to allow you to use said credit card. And what happens in that respect is you're paying a little bit more, or it's incorporated into the price, so you're paying a little bit more. So these merchant fees can range anywhere from 3% or what have you, but that's not something you got to worry about. That's something that they got to worry about. That's why you'll notice a lot of them, they don't accept American Express, because American Express membership has its privileges, right? They charge the merchants a lot of money for use of their fees, for use of their services. And a lot of the guys don't like to do that. They don't like to pay that. But if you're somebody like Burke's or these jewelry stores or these handbag stores, yeah, they'll accept everything and whatever, because they know they're going to make it. Because you're paying exorbitant amounts of money on these shoes, purses, whatever it may be. So that's something to keep in mind. Revolvers, your goal is to elevate and become a transactor. A transactor loves the benefits and perks that they get from their card. And their credit score is quite high because they either do this with one card or they do this with multiple cards, being able to use them and pay off the balance in full before the statement date. I hope you got some value from this video and you learned the difference between a transactor and a revolver and why it's important to distinguish between who you are and what kind of credit card user that you are. Please feel free to like, share, and comment. Share this video with a friend or a family member, and please let me know in the comments what resonated with you and what you learned from this video and what you liked or what you didn't like. I'm always aiming to improve. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.